This is IBN, the Islamic Broadcasting Network. The following program is sponsored by the Islamic Media Foundation, sharing the guidance of Allah through the broadcast media and the Internet.
This is Youth Talk, a show for youth and about the youth, discussing the issues of today and tomorrow. With your host, Hana Baba.
And welcome to Youth Talk for today. Thank you for being with us. Let me remind you up front of our email here. If you'd like to reach me at any time, it would be youthtalk@ibn.net. Again, that's youthtalk, all one word, at ibn.net. Now, there is a question you were always asked as a child. What do you want to be when you grow up? Chances are you said doctor, nurse, teacher, fireman, or even astronaut. And as you grow, you learn, you develop skills, you lean towards certain subjects in school, you hate other subjects in school, and by the time you're in high school, you think you figured out what it is you want to do with your life. Then you get into college, and then the workforce, the daily grind, and sometimes you wake up to realize that you aren't really happy with what you're doing. How can you match your personality and what you really are with your career? That's our topic today. If you haven't already heard of the True Colors program, today is your chance to find out how this program can help you do what you love. So stick around, stay tuned. You won't want to go anywhere for this one. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with the True Colors program, following your true colors to the work you love. Stick around. We'll be right back after the break.
Every day, new friends are made, and old friends are drawn closer. And from time to time, friends fall in love. If it's true love, the kind that stands the test of time, then everyone celebrates. Marriage, it's worth waiting for. This message has been brought to you by your American Muslim neighbors.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Islamic Media Foundation.
In the month of Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, and in the year 658 after the Hijrah or migration of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from Mecca to Medina, corresponding to the year 1260, the Muslim army led by Sultan Saifuddin Qutuz defeated the barbaric army of the Tatar in the Battle of Ain Jalut. The Tatar had inflicted upon the Muslim world some of the most vicious and human acts ever recorded by history, burning land, destroying buildings, murdering children, women, and the elderly, and leaving in their tracks nothing but death and destruction. As they neared the border of Egypt, Qutuz set out with his army to face the vicious Tatar and to bring an end to their destruction. With a brilliant offensive plan, Qutuz was able to terrify the Tatar and to inflict upon them major losses. With the bravery and steadfastness of this unique leader, Muslims were finally able to bring an end to the barbaric Tatar.
And welcome back to the program. You're listening to Youth Talk on IBN Radio. Now, today with us, I'm very proud to have with us today Ms. Carolyn Khalil. She's counseled more than 20,000 students of all ages to help them find purpose in their lives and to guide them towards what careers would match their personalities. She discovered the True Colors system in 1988, and her work at one of California's largest community colleges has been using the True Colors system. So today we're here to find out what the True Colors system is all about, how it works, and how it can help you. If you're not happy with what you're doing right now, if you're dragging yourself to work every morning, if you're coming out of high school or trying to choose a career, you're in the process of choosing what to do with your life, this is also something that you need to be listening to. So without any further ado, Carolyn, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks for being with me today. Why don't you sort of introduce yourself, if there's anything that I haven't really said, really quickly.
Well, you've said that I'm the author of Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love. It's a book that I wrote based on the True Colors personality system. And, yes, I have been using it with students at the college for over 27 years now. 27 years, wow. Mm-hmm. And now the first thing, by the way, everybody, since you're listening to us anyway on the Internet, why don't you open up another window on your computer and go to www.truecolorscareer.com. Again, that's www.truecolorscareer.com. And there you can find information about the program, about Carolyn, anything that you would need to know. Very interesting. Now, what is True Colors? If you had to, sum it up, what's the program all about? Well, True Colors is a personality system. It's a system that was developed by a man named Don Lowry, and he created this system to help people understand themselves and others better. And he actually uses 4 personality cards. They're very colorful, and therefore the name True Colors. It's something that's very simple. It's based on a very complex personality system that is difficult for most people to understand, and for me as a counselor to explain. So I've been using True Colors because it is so simple and it's so accurate.
And what is the connection between your personality and your careers? A lot of people would think, well, what I love to do and what I'm really passionate about, I can do as a hobby, but I need to do what I have to do to get the bread home and to raise my kids and et cetera. So how important is it to really make the connection between who you are and what you do?
Well, it's very important because, in fact, that's why I started to teach career planning classes, and I became the coordinator of the Career Center at our campus because I saw so many students who were coming to college with no direction. Mm-hmm. They either didn't want to be there and they were there because their parents sent them, or they were there and had no idea of what kind of major to choose, what kind of career to go into. And
they got no guidance in high school.
If any, it was very little because we have over 20,000 students at our campus. 50% of them, at least 50% of them, are undeclared, meaning they have no major and no career direction. So that tells you that something is not happening.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And whatever happened to all the astronauts and teachers that we all wanted to be when we were how when you ask a child what they want to be when they grow up and they tell you, they don't even have to think about it. I want to be a teacher. I want to be an astronaut. Is that just something of childhood? Can we, go back and think, maybe that first instinct is what I really wanted to go towards, or is it just a child babbling?
Well, often it is. It's an intuitive thing that children know. And what I find with a book so often is that as a child, and I know this was my case, I sort of had an idea of who I was and sort of thought about what I wanted to do, but so often people get talked out of that by parents because they would prefer to see them go in some direction that would make them happy or maybe fulfill the dreams that they didn't follow. And so it confuses people. I get letters from adults all the time telling me their story of what they wanted to be as a child. So I know it doesn't happen for everyone, but many people know when their children have some idea of what they want to do.
And are many people not matching the two being personality and career? Do you think, is it safe to say most people today aren't matching the two?
Well, according to statistics,
over 50% of people are dissatisfied with their work.
Over 50%?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
very high. It depends on the survey. Some of them say as many as 90%.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully that is getting better because of people like me who are out there doing this work.
Uh-huh.
But most people, I'm a baby boomer, and I know that many of my friends still say they don't know what they want to be when they grow up. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, I believe that they're not making the connection because they are obviously doing jobs that they hate. And if you the way I look at the connection between personality and careers is that everybody has personality strengths. Everybody has something they do really well and other things they don't do so well. Mm-hmm. We all have God-given talents, and I call these gifts. So the connection would be is if you know what those gifts are, you're not going to waste your time in a job that you hate.
True.
So that's where I believe we have to start.
So what your program does is sort of acquaints the person with their own self.
Yes, because again, if we don't start there, see, we get sidetracked by things like money, how much money the job is going to pay me, how much status there is, how many vacation days, and things like that. Which and we all want benefits, and those things are important. But if that is the primary motivator for your job, you could very easily lose interest in that job at some point because it isn't necessarily going to fulfill you or have any meaning to you.
Now, what are some of the signs that I'm not satisfied with my job? What are some of the signs if you see someone on a daily basis? What are some of the things that I should be looking out, if it's me or if it's someone that I know?
Well, people who, a clear sign is that often these people don't want to get up and go to work in the mornings. They just have a very difficult time even getting there. They may miss a lot of work. They complain a lot. And, there's sort of this spillover effect that happens with people who are miserable doing something 8 hours of their day. That's a large portion of your waking hours to spend doing something that you hate. So usually you're going to notice that these people complain about not just the work, but also they may not be, it may be affecting their marriage or their relationship with their children or friends. I mean, it's just kind of an overall kind of dissatisfaction when you spend that much time doing something that you just don't enjoy.
Now, we're going to take a short break, but we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the colors themselves. I found them to be so interesting. I tried to fit myself into one of them. So far, I haven't succeeded. I'm a little bit of every one of them, I guess, but...
that is true, by the way. That is true, by the way.
Yeah, I found a little bit of me in each one, but let's keep the suspense running. Let's take a short break. With us is Carolyn Khalil. She's the author of Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love. Go to the website, www.truecolorscareer.com, and come back. Don't go anywhere. This is Youth Talk. I'm your host, Hana. We'll be right back after the break.
These are the mothers of the world. They raise every new generation. They...
excuse me, pardon me.
Yes?
What about the nagging?
Nagging?
Take out the garbage, do your homework.
She's helping you build good character, teaching you things like responsibility, trustworthiness, honor, compassion, integrity.
Okay.
And because she loves you.
I knew you were going to say that.
Kindness to mothers is a gateway to paradise. Have you shown her love today? This message has been brought to you by your American Muslim neighbors.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Islamic Media Foundation.
Sponsor a program on the Islamic Broadcasting Network, IBN. Expose your organization or business name to the listeners of IBN in the Washington, D.C. metro area and nationwide and worldwide through our live internet broadcast. Support IBN Dawah efforts. Make the call and sponsor a program today. Get your name into thousands of homes nationwide and worldwide. For more information, call IBN at 703-241-9659.
welcome back to Youth Talk. I'm your host, Hana. Today we're trying to follow our true colors to the work that we love. With us today is Carolyn Khalil, author of Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love. We're talking about the True Colors system, and it is a very, very interesting system. It's very simple, but it's also a little complicated. And it's basically a popular method for matching your personality to your career. If you're not happy with what you're doing right now, or if you are in the process of choosing your career, if you know somebody who isn't really doing what they would like to be doing, this is a great program to find out more about. And to do that, you can go to the website, and that's www.truecolorscareer.com. Again, that's truecolorscareer.com. And again, welcome back, Carolyn, to the program. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Now, let's take a look at these colors. Can you tell us first about the color chart? What colors do we have, and what is a true color?
Okay, when you say what is a true color, I want to make this clear to everyone that they are not just one color, because there are 4 colors in their personality profile, and so they're a combination of all 4 colors, a little bit of something on each card, but there is a main color, which would be the first color. So the idea is to prioritize the 4 cards. Okay. And you start with a card that is most like you, that resonates most with you, and make it your first. Then the one that you don't resonate to as much, and make that your last. And then figure out where the other 2 fall in between. And then you have not just a color, but you have a color profile or a personality profile.
Oh, wow! How easy or difficult was it to come up with this?
Well,
this must have taken a lot of research.
It did. Well, the person who came up with it, Don Lowry, actually got this information from a man named Dr. David Kiersey, who was a professor at a California State University out here in Southern California. And Don studied with this man, and he had the system which was based on the Myers-Briggs type indicator, which is a very popular personality assessment that they use at a lot of universities. And so what happened is Dr. David Kiersey did all the research and simplified the 16 personality types in the Myers-Briggs. He simplified it down to 4.
Uh-huh.
So what happened is when Don met Dr. Kiersey, he said, we can simplify this even more so by not having these fancy names, to associate with the 4 temperaments. What we'll do is we'll just colorize them, because if we take colors that have the same characteristics of the personality, it will be easy for people to identify the personality by the color.
Much easier for the layperson to understand, definitely. Okay, let's start with blue. I'm reading from the website. Again, that's truecolorscareer.com. And there are 4 colors, 4 cards. Each one has a different color. That is supposedly 4 different, what do you call them, temperaments?
Yes.
Personalities, types of personalities. So blue says, this is blue talking about him or herself. Listen to these very carefully. See if you fall into any one of them. Blue, I am compassionate. I'm always encouraging and supporting. I'm a peacemaker, sensitive to the needs of others. I'm a natural romantic. Tell us more about blue, Carolyn. What are they like?
Yes, the blue personality, first of all, is a very small percentage of the population. They only represent about 10%. And so
only 10% are peacemakers and sensitive to the needs of others?
Well, believe it or
not.
Thank
you so much for that piece of information.
Well, look at the chaos we have in the world today.
Yeah, well, it does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what do they like to do?
Well, first of all, their gifts. Their gifts are their people skills. They focus much of their attention on helping other people. They want to make a difference in other people's lives. They like to make other people feel better about themselves. They're natural nurturers. And their best skills are their ability to interact and communicate well with people. Just think Oprah. Oprah is a blue, and her natural skills are her communication skills. She was even a communication major in college. And look at what Oprah is getting paid to do what she naturally does well.
Yes,
So she'd be a perfect match, right?
Yeah, she's a perfect match, which is why she's excelling at what she does. In fact, I read someplace where Oprah said that when she saw the title talk show hostess, she said, well, I can do that. That's like breathing.
Uh-huh.
So, see, she had that intuitive hit.
She knew.
Yes.
She knew.
Some people stumble into it very early, and others just know, but that's a very small percentage.
Wow.
And
do you know some other sort of personalities to get the idea closer to the audience? Oprah. Who else might be in the blue area?
Well, Mother Teresa.
Okay.
If you think about Mother Teresa, how she just helped others from her heart, no agenda, just very loving and kind and understanding, and wanted to just help the average person.
Yes, it says, as a blue, I like to do things that require caring, nurturing, and harmonizing. That sounds like Mother Teresa.
Yeah, Princess Diana. Or excuse me, Princess Diane.
Those are rare people, aren't they?
See, that's exactly right. And they're often misunderstood for their deeds because they do it from their heart, and that's their main agenda, is to really help people.
And everyone's looking for some secret agenda when there really isn't one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like the British monarchy with Princess Diane, but we won't talk about that.
Nope.
Let's
move on, Carol.
Yes, they love to motivate and inspire others to reach their potential, and they really make very good counselors, teachers, ministers, motivational speakers,
people
writers.
You can trust.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's hope there are more blues out there than we think. Let's move on to green. Let me read a little about green. And the card for green has like a wizard sort of person, and you know, just go look at it, truecolorscareer.com. I hope you're already at the website because this is very colorful. It's very interesting to look at and to read. Green, I am conceptual. I have an investigative mind, intrigued by questions like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm an independent thinker and live life by my own standards. Tell us more about green.
Well, these people are very interesting. They are also, believe it or not, only 10% of the population. The blues and greens are intuitive types, and they're a very small percentage, as you will see as we go on. But their gifts really are their intellectual ability. These are what I call our thinkers of the world. These are people who are very logical and analytical. They're cool, calm, and collected because they don't express their emotions easily, and they certainly don't do it in public very much.
We would call them in high school earlier on, we would call them the nerds.
They have been called that. They have been known to be called that. Those are the kids who were very smart, and a lot of times they wore glasses. You know, that's the image that you drum up, but they don't always look like that.
Okay.
But yes, they're the very smart kids in class who get the answers first.
They're the Nobel laureates also.
Yes, because they have a very curious mind. So naturally, if your mind is curious, you want to know a lot of things. So they're driven by knowledge and information. They're also the problem solvers of the world, the visionaries, people. I'll give you an example of, if you look at Hillary Clinton, Hillary is a green.
How's that?
Well, she's a thinker.
Okay.
She's a logical, analytical thinker. She's definitely a leader. I think she's a visionary and a very good problem solver. And sometimes women have difficulty. Sometimes people have difficulty with women who are like this.
True.
But
yes, that can be intimidating.
Yes. And was she intimidating to a lot of people?
I think yes.
I think so.
I think she still is.
I think she still is right.
Wow. Okay. Let me read a little more about green. The green values knowledge, intelligence, insight, and justice. They enjoy relationships with shared interests. They're cool, calm, and collected, and don't express emotions easily. So that's very unlike the blue. The blue, I remember they said they do express themselves very easily, like you said, and now the green is sort of the other side.
Exactly. They're opposites. They're opposites, and they usually marry each other.
They do.
Attract.
That's interesting. Do you know any blue-green relationships?
My own. And lots of my friends. I see it a lot. Bill Clinton, by the way, was more a heartfelt person, whereas Hillary was more a thinker and, what we call a person who communicates from the head. So they were opposites in that sense.
There's a blue-green. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the more common ones. It seems that we're moving on to the more common ones, as you said.
Let's go to orange. Orange is the third color, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. We started with blue, then green, and now we're on to orange. Now, orange says about themselves, I am courageous. I act on a moment's notice. I see life as a roll of the dice, a game of chance. I need stimulation, freedom, and excitement. I'm a natural leader, troubleshooter, and performer. All right, Carolyn.
Okay, these represent about 35% of the population.
Okay,
much larger percentage.
It is.
Their gift is their ability to take action and make things happen. When you're around these people, usually there's excitement around them. They are very active. They're very spontaneous, what I call spontaneous doers. They like to do. If they're not doing, they get bored very easily. These are people who need a lot of variety in their work, in their life, but in a work context, they need a lot of variety and change, or they get bored.
Uh-huh. Now, are we talking about a certain age group here? Because I would say that a lot of the 20-somethings and 30-somethings would be orange, but can you stay orange when you're 50, for instance? Does it have anything to do with your age?
Well, not according to the theory and Carl Jung's theory. He says that we grow to become more of who we truly are, rather than changing. We just become more of who we truly are. But we do go through stages in life, like crises as a teenager, trying to fit in. And so if you go to a high school, you'd think they're all orange. You would think all the kids are orange because they want to fit in and be like everybody else, and they want to be popular and wear the trendy clothes. But they're not all orange. And say midlife, it happens again. When we're not sure about who we are, we go through a crisis. So you may see other colors in their profile emerge, but no, there is definitely a difference between a true orange and somebody who is pretending to be orange.
Okay, can you give us some examples of orange? Would that be anyone who's in sports and the daredevils of the world, or who?
You're absolutely right. If you look at Hollywood, which is out here where I live in Southern California, the entertainment world is filled with the orange personality. Now, how perfect is that? Because you do have to be spontaneous. You do have to be action-oriented. And I don't know if I said, but they're entertainers. Many oranges are just natural-born entertainers. You'll see it in little kids where they entertain their friends and their family very early.
They're the clowns of the class, class clowns, and the jesters.
Exactly. They love the attention. And so Hollywood, how perfect is that for this personality?
It is. It's perfect environment.
Perfect environment, and think about their schedules. It's not the routine, mundane kind of 8 to 5 schedule, which is what they dread. They need that, working a few days here on a set and then not working for a few months and then doing something different, totally different. That really appeals to them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And they make us laugh.
Oh yeah.
They make us laugh.
And what about athletes? Would they fall in this category?
The best ones are. The best ones are because of their physical ability. That's these guys who make the most money are. You have to be spontaneous on the court. You have to have a lot of physical skills, and these people are very body oriented. They're physical bodies. They love to work out. If you go to the gyms, you'll see a lot of this personality type. They are risk takers, and what they risk, they will risk their bodies. Like a race car driver,
Okay.
Yeah. And would you like to know some of this?
So if I undergo this analysis and I turn out to be an orange, what are some of the careers that you would sort of suggest to me? What areas would I be most likely to succeed in and enjoy?
Okay. They do make very good actors, as I mentioned Hollywood before. But also things like paramedics, again, where you have to be spontaneous and totally into the moment and present with people when they're sick or in an
ER
emergency.
doctors, yeah.
Yeah, ER, yes, thank you for mentioning that, because also nurses. Now, a lot of people want to go into nursing, and they get there and find out it's not what they expected. This personality, that is a perfect ideal place for them if they go into nursing, is ER, because it is very quick, and there's always something happening. They're very good in crises. And they're constantly doing different things, so it's perfect for them. Salespeople, they make the best salespeople. They can sell anybody anything. They're good talkers.
So that's what the salespeople are. Orange,
yes,
okay.
Yes. Marketing specialists, dancers, mechanics, comedians.
Fast talkers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, and they also, it says here, they value action, resourcefulness, courage. And an orange is generous, charming, and impulsive. And they show affection through physical contact. So be careful and beware. All right, we'll be right back. We'll take another short break. With us is Carolyn Khalil. We're having a very nice discussion about following your true colors to the work you love. And that's actually the name of her book, Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love, by Carolyn Khalil. The last name is spelled Kalil. And you can visit their website at www.truecolorscareer.com. We'll come back and talk about the fourth color and see if you haven't fit into any of these three that we're talking about, maybe you'll fit into the fourth. If not, we'll talk about just that. What is it that you should be looking for in yourself when you're trying to match up with these colors? If you haven't matched yourself with one of them, why not? And maybe we're a part of each and every one of them. You never know. We'll be right back to find out all these mysteries and more with Carolyn. Right after the break, you're listening to Youth Talk on IBN.
He's lazy. She's stupid. He's a racist. That one's greedy. And there's a terrorist.
If you look at people and all you see are labels, everyone loses.
Labels hurt all of us, and they're wrong.
Every one of us is unique, a one-of-a-kind original.
Every one of us is a one-of-a-kind original.
Every one of us is a one-of-a-kind original. Our diversity is our strength. Instead of stereotyping, we can all learn from each other.
Don't let prejudice shape your view. Take the time to get to know people and see for yourself who they really are.
We are all one of a kind.
Stereotyping is wrong, and it hurts all of us. Stop stereotyping.
A message from your American Muslim neighbors and the Islamic Media Foundation.
Support IBN by making a pledge today, $1 a day, to the Islamic Media Foundation. Help IBN programs to continue by making your monthly contribution today. Pledge $1 a day online at www.ibn.net or call us to pledge over the phone at 703-241-9659. Help us continue to be your voice, the voice of American Muslims.
Welcome back to the program. You're listening to Youth Talk on IBN Radio. I'm your host, Hana Baba. And with me today is Carolyn Khalil, and she is author of Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love. And we're discovering the world of True Colors, a program that matches your personality with your career. And for more information, you can go to their website at www.truecolorscareer.com, or you can just go to truecolors.org. Truecolors.org. You can get to the same place there also. So we're going down the four main color categories that most people fall into, either one or the other. We talked about blue. Blue was compassionate, a peacemaker, is caring, good at counseling, good at nurturing, and harmonizing. Blue is enthusiastic, communicative, and expresses feelings easily. And we went on to the green type personality. The green is an independent thinker, and they like things that require vision, problem-solving, strategy, design, and change. And greens value knowledge, intelligence, insight, and justice. They are cool, calm, and collected, and do not express their emotions easily. And then we moved on to the orange category, the courageous category. They like to do things that require variety. They need something new in their life every day. They like the rush. They need results and participation. Oranges value action and courage, and they like using tools. They're competitive and bounce back quickly from defeat. Now we'll move on to the last category, which is gold. And now the gold personality here is the conventional, traditional sort of person. They're the pillar of strength and have high respect for authority. They like to establish and maintain policies, procedures, and schedules. And they have a strong sense of right and wrong. All right, Carolyn, tell us more about gold.
Okay, we all know gold. There's gold in all of our lives because they represent 45% of the population. So they're
getting higher now, 45, okay.
Yeah,
good.
The largest group. Their gifts are their ability to organize things and structure things and plan things. They're just very good at all of those things. And for that reason, they keep us out of chaos. I mean, if we didn't have planners and organizers in our lives, this would be a chaotic world. So, and that's true for each type and their gifts. That's what they bring to the world, which together they all work very well as a team.
Any golds that you can mention to us?
Well, the thing about the gold personality, unlike the others that I've mentioned, is they're not usually high-profile people or famous people. They're the kind of behind-the-scenes people.
I see.
They may be the principal at the local school or the minister at the local church, but, in that sense, that's where they would be leaders, show their leadership ability.
It says here that a gold usually believes that work comes before play. And they value home, family, status, security, and tradition. That's very interesting. Can you tell us a little more about that part? How can a person be stuck on tradition, for instance? Is it 45% of the people? That's a lot.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, these are unlike the orange. We talked about opposites with the blue and green. Well, the orange and gold are opposites.
They seem to be so, yes.
Yeah, because the golds are the ones that don't like a lot of change. They like things to be the same so that they are not surprised or thrown off, because these are planners. They like to predict their world. Tradition gives them a basis for that. It's do things the way they've been done, and why fix it if it's not broken kind of attitude. Status quo, people, again, it's based on what they know versus the unfamiliar. They don't need a lot of change. They don't need variety in their work, not like the other types.
Not like the orange, definitely.
Exactly. They tend to perfect how to do something, and they continue to do it that way.
So those are mostly people who have, went to school for a certain in a certain field that they, know well. They got a job when they got out of college. They probably stayed at that same job for 20 or 30 years without the need or the desire to move around from job to job.
Exactly. Exactly. They do know usually at a younger age, and they stick to it, and they tend to do what their parents, what authorities tell them. Their parents or the church, or the government. It's like you tell them what the rules are, and they will follow it.
The goody two-shoes of the world.
Well, I taught elementary school as my first career out of college, and those were the kids that did everything perfect. They did it exactly as I said. And by the way,
what's the difference between them and the greens? How?
Yeah, big difference. Greens are nonconformist. They will challenge rules. They don't like rules unless it makes sense to them, whereas these people will follow it because it is a rule. See the difference there?
Yeah.
They are
big difference, actually.
Yeah, quite a bit. These are people who do not buck the system. I mean, it's whatever it is what it is, and that's what they will do.
Okay. Now, what about the difference between gold and blue? They seem to, now that we've moved away from green, I'm thinking there's a closeness between gold and blue. They seem to have this calmness about them, and the other two, like the orange and green, seem like they have this adrenaline rush about them, and they want to know about everything, and they want to challenge, and they need challenges. But now the blue and the gold are kind of mixing in.
Yeah, you're right. The green, that's very perceptive. The green and the orange are much more independent type people, whereas the blue and gold are people who are want to belong and not to make too many waves. They're different, and their values are different in the sense that a blue is more of a harmonizer because they come from their heart a lot and they want to see people be happy and get along together, whereas the golds are more protective of the laws, the rules, doing what you're supposed to do. It's more like that.
Not challenging it at all.
No.
Okay.
No. It's because it's the way it's supposed to be, whereas a blue is just doing it because it just comes from their heart and it may even go against the rules, but they're going with their feelings versus what maybe the system says.
So again, if I was a gold, I would probably be a good principal, like you said, a good pastor, possibly.
Pastor in a traditional sense, not, a traditional kind of pastor for whatever culture the culture is.
So just somebody, what else? What else? Because you're saying 45% of people are gold.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what careers they're in.
Okay, well, our accountants,
okay,
it's excellent for them because these are people who pay attention to detail. I mean, they dot the I's and cross the T's, and that's what you want in an accountant if you think about it. That's the kind of person you would want to hire. So they make very good accountants. They're good managers. They are good at keeping people doing what they're supposed to do. Administrative assistants.
Okay.
They work for a boss, and they do usually keep the boss in line, his schedule, keep him on schedule and that sort of thing. Nurses. Now, this is the perfect profile for a nurse because of the nature of the job. And there are often people like blues who go into the profession because they care about people and they want to help people, but this isn't necessarily the way blues want to help people.
Okay.
Because, what nurses are doing is they're helping people with their physical challenges. And that's not what the blue is interested in so much.
Okay.
Judges, making sure people again follow judges, so they follow.
Definitely not the lawyers.
Well,
where do the lawyers fall in all of this?
You know something? Actually, it is good for law because a lot of law is paperwork.
It is, yes.
And a lot of greens go into law for the mental challenge.
Yep.
And we're losing a lot of greens who are lawyers. I know several who have left the profession because they're bogged down with too much paperwork. So it is a good profession for gold, and again, it for green, it depends on the kind of law they go into. I think as a trial lawyer, it would be really more challenging for a green. Whereas corporate law, some of the other areas of law would be really good for the gold personality.
Yeah, that would make more sense. What about radio talk show hosts? Where do we fall in?
Oh, gosh. Well, you guys fall into probably all three of the four. I would say as a green, as a blue, or orange. You find that's what you find. I don't see any. I rarely see a gold doing this type of work. But yes, the other personalities I see, the blue, the green, and the orange.
Now, you said earlier that a person has a color and that color is likely not to change to another one. They will probably, as they grow, they'll probably grow more into that color, so you can't change from personality to personality?
Actually, your first color is where your major gifts are, and it usually doesn't change. Now, what happens is as we grow and mature, we start to integrate more of the other colors. And so that's where the profile comes in, because let's say gold is your last color. Well, it means that you're going to have a lot of challenges with getting someplace on time and being punctual or meeting deadlines. And and we live in a world where those things are important.
They are, yeah.
So we have to integrate that, although we never have to be that because we'll never be as good as a true gold. Or hire somebody to do that work.
Okay. Now, can one person be two or three colors at the same time? Like I said, when I first went onto this website, let me repeat it for everybody again, www.truecolorscareer.com. True Colors Career is all one word, jammed together, .com. You can take a look at each of the colors, and there's a description of what personality goes with each color. Now, I was reading through these, and I said, I have a little bit of red in me, a little bit of green, It was hard for me to say I am only a gold or I am strictly a blue. Now, is that possible, or do I have to fall into a category sooner or later?
Well, there is an order, and I know that it can be, at first, when you first see it, it may not come out right the first time you see it, because, trust me, when I first did the cards, I picked the gold personality. Well, I'm not a gold. Okay. Gold is my third color. I'm actually a primary blue.
You are?
First color blue, yes.
Right. Yes, you are, actually. Yeah, you're the nurturing, counseling sort of person, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a blue, green, gold, and then orange. Okay. And the reason why I picked gold, now in retrospect, see, I understand it. I picked gold because my mother was gold, and she was the one who, my father left when I was very young. Anyway, my mother's influence was most prominent in our family, and so that's how she actually trained us to be like her.
Uh-huh.
Now, doesn't
so you were being conventional also in that sense.
I was, but I was struggling because it wasn't the true me.
I see.
And that's why this personality system just turned my whole life around. Because when I started to own the part of me that is true, which is the blue part, it was like a weight had been lifted, and I could just breathe and be myself. I struggled to live up to the gold.
Well, we're hoping that our listeners today, and I'm going to tell everybody I know about this great idea. I hadn't heard about it before, but it definitely needs to get spread. TrueColorsCareer.com. We're talking about the True Colors concept, matching your personality with your career. And with us is Carolyn Khalil. She's author of Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love, and she counsels many, many, many students and young people on what to do with their lives and how to be happy with what they are doing. We'll take another short break. We'll be right back. We'll hopefully get to talk about the True Colors program itself, what they have to offer, some of their products, and how you can get a hold of them. Okay, so stick around. We'll be right back with more on Youth Talk.
This is Voyager 2. Its journey will take it to the furthest reaches of our solar system to collect information to help scientists learn more about ourselves and the worlds beyond. Future scientists like little Miriam. You see, Miriam is learning that the search for knowledge never ends, and she's getting an early start on a journey that should last a lifetime. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. This message has been brought to you by your American Muslim neighbors.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Islamic Media Foundation.
IBN is your voice, the voice of American Muslims. Let us know what you think of our programs. Give us your comments and suggestions. Email us at feedback@ibn.net. That's feedback@ibn.net. Or send us a fax at 703-241-9658. That's 703-241-9658. Your opinion counts.
Welcome back to Youth Talk here on IBN. Now, one of our ever-recurring topics is trying to find your way in life and trying to find the career that suits you. Many, many, many people, according to our guest today, more than 50% of people today are not happy with their jobs, with what they're doing on a daily basis. And this program, the True Colors program that we've been talking about today, has come to change that, to find out what you are like on the inside and try to match that with a career, something that you would be good in and that you would enjoy doing, hopefully for the rest of your life. With us is the author of a great book called Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love, and her name is Carolyn Khalil. Visit their website, again, the True Colors website, at www.truecolorscareer.com. If you have any questions about today's show, you can email me at youthtalk@ibn.net. Again, that's youthtalk@ibn.net. Any questions about today's show or the True Colors program, and I'll forward you anything you need to know. All right, Carolyn, now we've talked about all the colors and the personalities that match the colors. We've even given some examples of some famous personalities that match some of the colors here. Now let's talk about the True Colors as a program, as as not just a concept, but I believe there are there's a training course and there are books. And how can someone, if someone today was listening to the show and they're very interested, they would like to get their personality analyzed or how you call it, what do they do and where do they get the products?
Okay, I would recommend, since my particular niche is career development, I'm going to talk about the books in that area.
Please do.
Okay, one is the one you mentioned, Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love. It also comes with a workbook called Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love workbook. And it has lots of activities to help people to understand the concept and also give them the career direction with suggestions on careers and so on. But I would like for everyone to know that a set of cards comes with each product. So no matter which book you purchase, you will have a set of the 4 cards contained within the book.
Okay.
There is also a high school student, a workbook for high school students.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, in fact, I wrote that because, again, we talked about how often students leave high school and they're not prepared to go to work, and they come to college and they end up dropping out often because of the lack of direction.
That is the crucial phase, isn't it?
Oh, very crucial. In fact, I would like to start writing books to catch them younger than that. You start preparing them in elementary school so they don't have to all of a sudden decide that in high school either.
Okay.
It certainly would make the job easier in higher education if they came with more direction.
So there's a workbook for high school students?
Yes, it's called True Success.
Okay.
And, again, comes with a set of personality cards, has all kinds of activities to help them see what their skills are, their gifts, what values are important that they take into their work, so they won't feel like they're in the wrong job. If you're not meeting your values, that'll happen. It'll seem like it has no meaning to you. Mm-hmm. There's a research component with lots of career options and goal setting and action planning. They can purchase any of these materials from my website, truecolorscareer.com. There's an icon there for Amazon.com. If they just click on it, it'll take them right into Amazon where they can purchase any of these books.
Okay, great. If you didn't hear that, listen up again, truecolorscareer.com. That's the website you need to go to get any of Carolyn Khalil's books. Follow your true colors to the work you love. Or if you're in high school, this is the one you want to get, True Success in a Career. And I believe that's a workbook, right?
Right. It's been shortened to True Success now. The title's shortened.
Okay, True Success, a great workbook for you to find out what color you are. That's what I'd love to find out what color I am. Just finding out would be amazing if you could just figure yourself out.
And I have to say that the book itself has a chapter for each color to help you see that clearer.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to get it too.
Thank
really? Yeah, I think we should. I think everybody should. Many of us have just grown up with the idea that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to be, either because of the family you're living within, or because of your environment. All those factors tend to mix in with what you really are, and sometimes along the way you tend to lose track of who you really are and what you really like to do.
Exactly.
So if you can figure that out again, then, that would be awesome. That would be great. Again, truecolorscareer.com is the website, and the author's name is Carolyn Khalil. And let me ask you one last question before we go off the air today, Carolyn. You have the book titled True Success. Now, that's like the $1 million question for many people. How to find true success in a career? Can you just give us, a little sneak peek, just 2 points or 3 points if you can. Hopefully, not giving the whole thing away so people can go get the book.
Okay. Again, this one is a workbook for high school students. It's full of activities to help them find their true careers, and it's based on more internal factors versus the external stuff of how much money it'll pay, what am I actually going to be doing on the job. It's based on you looking at who you are and what your gifts are and matching that with a career. So it's doing it the opposite way that we've been trained. You start with who you are, and then you find a career that matches you. And then it's perfect. It's a marriage made in heaven.
It actually is. It sounds like it. It sounds a little too perfect to be true, unless unless you're absolutely honest, of course. Now, that's another thing.
Oh, yes.
You have to be honest with yourself, right? You're not answering to anybody. There's not a person standing there judging you on anything. So
well, that's it. It's not about wanting what you want to be. You can't be a wannabe in this situation or who you were told to be. You have to look at who you truly are. And the books help you to get to that space of who I truly am versus who I thought I was or I was trained to be or who I even want to be. Got to start with who you are to get where you want to be.
All right. Now, it was a pleasure having you today, Carolyn. Do you have any final messages to the listeners that you'd like to give, especially to the high school students? Those are most people that are listening to us today are in that age group.
Well, you save so much time, and you save your parents so much money if you can find some direction before you actually get to college. And what I find is that when students come like this, they tend to go on probation or they just drop out on their own. Their grades aren't good. I mean, all these things happen when there's a lack of direction. It's like going to the supermarket and not knowing what you want to buy. Well, you may come away with something, but it may not be what you want. Or you may spend too much time because you didn't know what you wanted. If you have that direction prior to getting there, you're going to save time and money.
All right. Couldn't have said it better. Carolyn Khalil, author of Follow Your True Colors to the Work You Love. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
All right.
Good luck to your audience.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure. Hopefully we can have you sometime in the future. And hopefully everybody listening to us today has visited the website. If not, I will have it up on our site today or tomorrow, hopefully, on the Youth Talk site on IBN.net. So you can find it there and go either get your hands on the products, read around, look around at the colors, find out what color you are, and I'm sure this program can help you. Again, the website, truecolorscareer.com. All right, and I'll see everybody else tomorrow, hopefully. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'm on the air. Email me at youthtalk@ibn.net, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Salam alaikum.
You have been with Youth Talk. Join us again next time for an in-depth discussion of what really counts. This is Hana Baba, signing off.
This program has been sponsored by the Islamic Media Foundation, sharing the guidance of Allah through the broadcast media and the Internet.